Hey everybody, hope you're doing alright. In this video today, I wanted to go over some small caps, and we're just going to analyze their charts. So if you guys like these types of videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's pull them up. And first off, cleanspark stock, or CLSK. Now this one recently created new lows, and this chart is still quite bearish. Now we are currently trying to break out of this descending resistance here, this red line, and it's definitely not good to see that it just recently created new lows. And this is one small cap that has not held up its May 11 lows. And while on technicals, this is very bearish and is still definitely in a downtrend and still likely to fall even farther, this is one of my high conviction plays, and I'm okay with DCAing into it. And if we do approach these lows, cash secured puts at 250 would likely be a great play. Get some decent premium and potentially pick up some cleanspark if it does break 250. So that's what I'm eyeing for cleanspark, but let me know down below what your plan is for it. Are you just DCAing? Are you eyeing some cash secured puts? Are you selling covered calls on your current positions? Despite cleanspark reaching recent lows, there's always a strategy to play it, and I think a break of this 270 area could potentially bring it down to 250. But it's a matter of if it breaks it or not. But I am still holding all of my cleanspark, and I am still quite negative on it. However, I'm not planning on taking any losses, on harvesting any capital losses on this one, like I have on some of my other small caps. And next up is going to be Workhorse. I haven't sold any of this one either. We'll see if that'll end up being the right decision or not. This is definitely one of my higher risk stocks. There's no arguing that. The executives definitely still have to prove themselves, but if anyone's going to turn around Workhorse, it is the current execs that they have. They went under new management a few months ago, and we have seen some positive developments. Some partnerships with green power, expansion in their facilities, and in terms of stock price, this one has not broke its May 11 lows, although it got very close. So its May 11 lows was right around $2.10. It bounced at about $2.30 and is now finding resistance at this $2.50. I think it can definitely chop around here before potentially having this breakout of this descending resistance towards the end of October. However, if it doesn't break out of this descending resistance, we are likely to create new lower lows. You definitely want to watch this yellow line, this descending resistance. And after that, you want to see the 200-day start curling to the upside and us slowly breaking over it. That is going to be a bullish signal. Now, will it happen next week? Will it happen a month from now? Will it happen at all? That's to be determined, but you are going to want to look out for it. And you have to consider, ever since August, it has been on this kind of shorter term downtrend, and this 225 is going to be an important level to watch. And also this potential breakout of 250. It does seem to be finding resistance here, and it does have to break that before we can break this descending resistance. But Workhorse, I am holding, and I'm going to let it play out. Next up, Chargepoint, Chpt. This is another one that I have no plans of selling anytime soon. And right now, looking at this pattern, we are in this descending wedge pattern. It does look like it's attempting to break out of it. I want to see a candle close above it. And something you'll notice with Chargepoint, it has not hit its May 11 low. So we have gone quite a few months. And funny enough, it's almost double. It's a little under double from there, but it's still nice to see such huge gains after May 11. You'd think there's so much fear in this and it's at new lows, but no, it is a little under double from its lows. As I said, this purple line that was important to watch. Once we broke this, it did find resistance on it and just started continuing to crash in this $14 area. It fell right through it. It became its resistance point. It couldn't break back over 14 and we fell further. Now it did have a strong bounce right around the 1250 area, so you're going to want to watch that. If we break 1250, we are in for some lower levels. We are reaching an interesting point. The 200-day is starting to level out. If we start seeing it curl upwards, that's going to be a great sign, and better yet, a break above it. But until then, I can definitely see this curling lower and potentially creating some new lower levels. We will see if it ever tests that May 11 low. I personally think it won't, but I've been wrong before. Next up is going to be Matterport. On this one, I do not have any more Matterport. This was not a high conviction play for me. I took it as a loss, and looking at it now, it does seem like it's trying to establish this 350 area as a support. Definitely a potential accumulation zone in my opinion. It kind of does look like that. However, it is still bearish. We just recently created new lows. It did not hold its May 11 low, and if we can't break this red line here, right now it does look like we're starting to trade into this channel, but if it doesn't break this red line, this descending resistance, we're definitely going lower. So you want to see this red line here break out, but it's definitely still quite bearish. I will keep an eye on it and see when that trend turns around. When we start getting an uptrend, I might re-enter there. But until then, I could definitely see some lower levels on Matterport. It is interesting that it's trying to establish this base. If we do break from this base, we're going to hit another leg down. But yeah, for now, I'm not going to touch it. You could potentially add in, set a stop loss somewhere around 3, or use your best judgment for a closer stop loss. Hope for an uptrend, hope for a little pop. sell into that, but I personally see no reason to enter right now. I think it's quite bearish, and like I said, this isn't a high conviction play for me. Next up is Bngo. I still have my original position in this. I'm not planning on selling this one, and looking at it, we have continued to respect that May 11 low. We have consistently been creating higher lows, although I can't say the same about higher highs. In terms of higher highs, it just chops all over the place. We definitely had a nice little spike, took it back. But another thing you want to watch is you want to see this long-term descending resistance. On that spike, it established it again as a resistance point. So we'll see if potentially coming towards the middle of November, if we can actually get a break above this. If we trade sideways, it's likely to test it. However, if we have a nice little pop, we can test it sooner than that. We could test it in the end of October potentially. But looking at Bngo, it does seem like it's trying to hold this 200-day. And it's going to be very important to continue to watch this ascending support. Although it hasn't bounced off it a ton of times, it has bounced off it twice. And it's going to be important to see it respect that line. Zooming in a bit, you'll see that this volatility is tightening up. We're about to break out of either direction of this pattern here. You're going to want to watch it. A break of either side will likely dictate a further move. But that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to give you a little update on some of these small caps, what I've been looking at, what I've been doing lately. Let me know what small caps you guys are watching in the comments below. Thanks as always, and take it easy.